Okay, well, hello there. This is Otto Casanova, also known as the real estate mindset investor. I haven't done a interview for a while, but I thought it's important for you to all to meet Kiran.
Yes.
Kiran Kaur. Did I pronounce that correctly, Kiran?
Yes, yeah, you did. Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak and share with the audience. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely, Kiran. In fact, I wanted to share your story with everybody because I believe that it is an inspiring story. And of course, this is about real estate, and there are many people who want to get into real estate but don't know how. And of course, it's very important. The first thing that I tell everybody is that one of the most important things is education. Coaching is very important, and also mindset.
I
Now,
agree.
the way, pardon?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and the way that you're going, you have the motivation, you have the mindset, and this is a story that needs to be shared. From my understanding, of course, you weren't in real estate before. You were a nurse, is that correct?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So how was that? You've been doing that for many years?
So I came on a student visa. I'm immigrant. I'm Indian by birth, and came on a student visa in 2011 and went through the permanent residency in Canada and blessed to be a Canadian citizen. And this country has provided me so much, and this country changed our life. And so then after getting permanent residency in 2015 was our first purchase in Saskatoon, beautiful city. And we it was a
You
detached
purchased
garage house.
you purchased the residence
I purchased
you,
like my our first property. Yes, yeah, we
with
got a
your
permanent.
husband, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry,
So we,
sorry to interrupt you. So you're married, right? You're married. You have your husband, and you have kids.
yes, I have a really amazing husband, and I have two kids, 4 year old and 7 year old. And after getting the permanent residency, like just after 15 days, we got our first property. And after getting the permanent after getting the house, we our family was getting bigger, so we looked into getting another house. And everybody said that you need it's nice to have a mortgage helper that has a basement suite that helps out with the mortgage. And so we did that. And on our first house, there was a open space in the basement. So my husband, he's a mechanical engineer and he loves buildings. And he did the basement development by himself, so I'm really proud of him. So when we had like two properties, and we realized like we had more income than our expenses, because we are hardworking, on a student visa. When we came, I was working on like $8 per hour and worked as a waitress and worked in restaurants. And that made me realize how important is the value of money and the time. And so saving money for down payments. And once we got into rental income and paying all our expenses were very little. So I really liked the amount I was able to, the time I was able to spend with my kids, and sitting down on the floor doing puzzles. I just loved that, taking them to the playground. So that's how we were got into real estate and just fell in love, got obsessed with real estate. And this is really exciting for me. Yes.
Okay, so you came to Canada 2015. You were working. You ended up working as a nurse,
Yes.
right? Your husband as a mechanical engineer. So you're both working. Were your kids born here or back in India?
So I came in 2011 actually. The first
Oh,
property we bought.
2011.
Yeah. Yes, from 2011 to 2015, we were both international students, and we got married. And so our
Here in
both our
Canada.
yes, yeah, here in Canada. And I landed in Edmonton, the beautiful city which is booming right now. And I used
Edmonton, Alberta, for those international viewers.
Yes. So it's I used to live on 118th, like just block away from Nate, and I was studying in Grand McKeown, and my husband is in Brampton. So we got
Brampton,
married.
Ontario. Yes,
So
in
that's how
Ontario.
we know, like the market and everything about Alberta. We were living in Saskatchewan, quite familiar with that market, and in 2015, yeah, got into our first property.
Okay, so you bought the first property. This is your primary residence. When you
Yes.
bought your second one, you didn't get rid of the first one?
No, we didn't
Oh,
get rid
okay.
of it.
That's smart.
We were yeah, because you can once you have properties, right? Like your rental income gets added to your personal income for qualification. So our mortgage was, I think, at 3%, and our mortgage was, I think, bi-weekly the payments were 1,600, and our rent was 2,300. So that was, like, and then on the other side, like the basement suite was rented out for 1,200, and our mortgage was like 2,200. So that was really helping us, with the mortgage payments and all the expenses.
You put the basement suite on the first or the second one or both?
Both, yeah.
Both. Amazing. That's amazing. So okay, so now you've got this, like you're doing things greatly. I didn't have that vision when I first started, when I first came into Canada. I did not have that vision. You came here, you already had that vision, and this is the type of vision that we usually recommend. Like as you're starting out, you understand that this is how you're going to create your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So now you want to grow, right? So I'm getting from you, you want to spend more time with your kids, and you want to, you want to get your time back. So you're working full time, but you want to get your time back, and you want to create generational wealth. And so you wanted to grow in the real estate investing industry. Am I correct to say that?
Yes, I agree. And then one day, like I'm sitting on the couch, and one of my friend says to me, Kiran, nurses buy care homes. And I was shocked. Like, how can people buy care homes? And she said that she knows somebody who owns a care home, and that was like just like fascinating to me, that how can somebody has a business. So like that became my kind of I felt like if somebody else can do it, Kiran, you can also do it. You just need to learn how to do it, and be surrounded with people, all these business people, all the people with have like rental portfolio. You need to belong to that community. And so there was a one care home on the market, so which was like on a next neighborhood, and we looked at the care home. It was listed for like 1.4, and I didn't I didn't even know how to
Saskatchewan?
write a billion. Saskatchewan,
It's
yes.
Saskatchewan. You didn't know what? Sorry.
I didn't know how many zeros are in million, because I never wrote a million.
Oh, wow. So this is, you're sitting on the couch having a conversation, and then all of a sudden the prospect of a business, a, a home care business. Is that how
I yes, senior living business. And
right?
started looking into all the bigger numbers, bigger down payment, and now I'm questioning myself. Like I'm making, at that time, like hourly rate for nurses was like $36 per hour, and all like how taxes, and you don't make that much, right? So I'm calculating how many years it will take me to save for the down payment for the nursing home. And I'm just like all day, all the calculations, and like taking a shower, and going to the groceries, all these, like I'm brainstorming how to get it done. How can I make that jump, right? So my realtor, he introduced me to somebody, and who is also looking into care homes. So the I think the best thing people can do if they want to do anything in life, tell everybody who you know what you want to do, because they know somebody who has already done it, right? So you are not figuring out alone, and you have somebody who has done it, who has figured it all out. So I met this lady, I'm sitting in a restaurant and she's telling me all her rental portfolio, and she's talking about her businesses, how she has done it. And like, she's amazing woman, and I have like huge respect for her and how what she has done in her life. And like, she's inspiring to me. And she said, Kiran, you can also do it, it's very easy, and all you have to do it, just like, have your mindset. You need to believe in yourself, you can do it, because there will be so many dark moments in your life, and you need to, all the thoughts come in your mind that you can't do it. But that's no, you need to focus on, you need to believe in yourself, having the right mindset, the growth mindset. You need to get into, if you want to go to the next step. So how so then I have been in friends with her, and she's my partner. We are closing a care home in January in Saskatoon. It's a 15 bed. Yes.
Closing. Closing.
Yes.
In other words, you went through the process of putting a building under contract in Saskatchewan, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
In Saskatchewan, you went through the process of putting it under contract, negotiating, and now you are moving towards the closing. That's when did you say?
In January. So we have a foundation almost. Yeah, we are doing the outside foundation, and framing. The foundation is done, and we are 4 partners, and so all my friends, and one of my partners, she's also a nurse. I met her in BC, and that's why, like, all my staff room calls are, with other nurses, are conversations. It's not about like manicure, pedicure, like nails. It's all about how can I partner up with other nurses? How can I be a value to my colleagues? Because we work really, really hard, like 12-hour shifts. It makes you you get burnt out, and like long hours, and physically and emotionally, time away from kids, and then you get sick. You be good because you're taking care of sick patients, and when you get up in the morning, you're away from your kids. They're still sleeping. By the time you come up at home, they're sleeping. So you hardly see your kids when you're working full time, and on weekends you have only 2 weekends off when you're working full time. So all those birthday celebrations, going to the temple, going to the playground, the parks, you have less time, because four shifts you're working in a week, and then nighttime you're sleeping, you're working nighttime, during the day, the next day. And that was I love working as a nurse, but being a wife and having a young kids and older parents, I realize I need more time with them, because I'm 36 years old, and my kids' childhood is not gonna come back, right? So I need to spend more time. My kids need more time. Yeah.
And you absolutely, and this is the reason why you decided to get into real estate, because that's a perfect way to create generational wealth and actually to buy your time back. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you have 4 partners, but you already acquired it, did you? Because if you're already working on
Yes.
on the building, okay. So I misunderstood when you said closing.
So we got so the land, the developer owns the land, so we got appraisal from a business plan. We got pre-approved for building a care home, and so it's the construction is going to be completed in January.
Wow. Okay. So is this the land development project?
So
No.
land development project is in Strathmore, just outside Calgary. Yes.
Okay, so let's get to that, because you mentioned to me. Okay, so you have one care home project, which is new construction. You're involved in the construction of it.
Yes.
You're with 4 partners. Now, these partners are in real estate investors as well. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So
now
one of my partners, she's a nurse, and another partner, he's my husband's friend, and he owns multiple businesses. and my another partner, she already owns care homes, the one who got me into real estate. And God bless her, she introduced me to Alfonso the day
Right.
the
Okay.
day. So my
So
life changed.
no, go
Yes.
ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. Your life changed from that moment. So we should take a step back though, because you did not get into these larger projects or into this grand vision without acquiring the proper education. So you had
I
mentioned to me it's practically only 2 years ago that you actually got the education. You invested in education, you invested in coaching. And for anybody who doesn't know Alfonso, because Kiran, some this video sometimes goes into my international listeners, and that's across the world, and all the way up to Southeast Asia and South America. So, so Alfonso Cuadra, he's a Alfonso Cuadra. He's the real estate godfather. He's known as the real estate godfather. Many decades of experience, and he wants to help people. And he has this education program and coaching program. You joined this program. I joined that program, and I share that with you. It's when we joined this program that it just went, that our growth curves just went from standard to up. And
Yes,
that's what
I
happened to you within 2 years. Within 2 years, you got all the education, you got the coaching, and then you got your. Which one was your first bigger project? Is that the one that we're talking about? Was that your first one?
So my first project. So going back, like I'm a nurse, right? So I'm talking to the other nurses, and they said, like you gotta get into travel nursing. That they make ton of money, and I said, okay. So let me, I can use that money for the down payment. And I came to Chilliwack, BC, and my husband, who's still in Saskatoon, and with my taking care of my kids. And so while in Chilliwack, I looked at properties appreciate a lot more in BC compared to Saskatchewan, and I decided, I need to invest in appreciation market where I don't need to work and the properties appreciate on its own just because of where it is located. So we ended up buying a townhouse, and just after buying a townhouse, my friend Harpreet, so she who got me introduced into care home, like all the projects, and who introduced me to Alfonso. At that time, she took my husband to a boot camp in Saskatoon, and she said, all the time you asking me all these, day in and out questions about real estate, and look at this project, you look at this property. And she would say, Kiran, you need to educate yourself. You can't be looking at thousands of properties on realtor.ca, and you need to understand why I'm saying these are not good properties. And I said, okay, I have to get myself educated. So my husband in there, he went to boot camp in Saskatoon, and he called me, and I said, Kiran, we need to do this. If we are not doing this, we will be staying full time in our works, and there's no money. It's a rat race, right? The more you make, the more you pay taxes, and you're away from the family, and years go by, and you're 65. You.
Yeah, exactly. I get that, and yeah, that's why we're doing this, correct? And there are so many people that want to do it, and they want to, just be encouraged. And I think that this conversation will encourage a lot of people, and I appreciate your time for this. So of course you got the education, and then you've got this first project on the go. But you've got another couple of ones that you've done, and this is just in 2 years. You want to touch upon that?
Yes. So the first project. So after the boot camp, and we started learning about more real estate, and I invested in my time and looking at starting reading Rich Dad Poor Dad and Napoleon Hill, like Think and Grow Rich, and Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. All those books, they changed me.
Mhm.
And when I got educated into real estate, we decided to buy a property in New Brunswick. So it's a duplex for we bought for 200K, and we have a vendor take
Duplex.
back duplex for 200. Yes, yeah. We got a vendor take back on that property for the down payment, and now we are changing that duplex into 8 units. And so I'm really excited. So we bought this for 1/5, like 200 bank's money, and the vendor take back. And people talk about zero money down is not possible. And I say that educate yourself, and the more education you have, the more actual like intellectual currency you have, the less cash money you would need. So I'm like, I still don't believe how that changed our life in such a short time, being able to convert that duplex into 8 units. So it's all about education. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what she means by vendor take back, that's the seller themselves are sometimes have an incentive to finance the acquisition. And this is the reason why we say that we can get into this real estate investment game without any of our own money. We just have to have the right education. So uh, if you want more information, you let me know about where you can get that into education. You can contact me, you can contact Kiran. So now we're at the end. We're kind of running out of time. I think we're gonna have to get you back because your story is really interesting. But so that in itself probably is an entire episode just to talk about the duplex to the 8 units. That's a conversation in itself. So we're gonna have to get you back for that. What about the third project,
So we bought 4 plex in New Brunswick, and that we are converting to 40 units. We are just waiting for the building permit.
14.
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing. You see what I mean? Like, this is a story that needs to be shared because it's inspirational. It's you had the mindset. You asked one of the most important questions that anybody should ask themselves is how, not if. If I can do this, or what if I can't not do this, or I could not do this. No, the question is always, how can I do this? And you had the right mindset, and you read the right books. That's a book that I would totally recommend for somebody to read. The Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That's the one that you read, correct? Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, I agree. And I listened to the audiobook and read the book. I think I read book once and I read the audio 3 times. I used to drive to like Chilliwack Hospital, like from Surrey, like 1 hour drive. That was my morning, and like after 12-hour shift, I will listen to that guy, and keep me inspired and motivated. And like I didn't want to give up, because it's we all had that dark moments, but when you listen to these successful people, when you read these books, you are reliving their life, right? Like they're sharing how they achieve success in their life. And it's all about mindset.
Yeah, I agree. And you said something very important. We go through dark moments. This doesn't, and this happens to everybody. It's not always rosy in the real estate investing world either. You go through your ups and downs, but that's why it's important to have the right mindset all the time. And it's important to stay educated when it comes to concepts of the mind and personal growth. I always say that creating generational wealth in real estate requires 5% strategy and 95% mindset. And I know this for a fact because it's happened to me. and I can see what you've done with it, and that's something that I would recommend. I would suggest for anybody: get educated for sure, get the coaching, but also make investments in education about having the right mindset, because you could be in real estate. I mean, many of our people, many people watching this right now are going to be real estate investors as well. And as real estate investors, like I said, like you said, and like I'm saying right now, we go through our ups and downs. It's important to invest in some mindset education. You did it for yourself with Napoleon Hill, you did it with Robert Kiyosaki, and in other books, as you mentioned. So congratulations for that. So
Thank you.
Kiran, I'm gonna, like I said, we need to get together. We need to get together again, because I'd love to talk about some of the details about those conversions. I know many people would be interested in learning about those conversions themselves. In fact, anybody that would want to learn a little bit more about what you're doing, even before we record another program like this with you, they can feel free to reach you, correct?
I agree. And they can reach me, Kiran Kaur, on Facebook, and they can send me email. It's Broadway Living Inc. at gmail.com. Broadway Living Inc. at gmail.com. And I would love to connect. And, you can do this. You can do this. You can change your life. All you have to do is surround yourself with people who have already achieved success. And it's we are not trees. We can change ourselves. We can change. The opportunities are not going to come every single day. This is a perfect environment to buy real estate and having more income than our expenses.
The perfect time. Thank you. And that's Kiran Kaur, Kiran Kaur.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Kiran, so thank you so much. We're going to leave it at that for now, and we'll talk to everybody very soon again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aro. You are inspiring, and it's great to talk to you and connect.